Is that filter making too much noise? No? Great. This is perfect.
What filter?
It's an air filter, air purifier.
Oh, my dad installed one of those so he could smoke and keep his girlfriends around.
Well, there you go.
They all left him, and he died. No. He had a wife when he died. I think she might have killed him, actually.
What?
We don't... Dude.
Wait, what?
Well, me and Dad built a house together, and then he died. She kept the house, sold it, and then immediately moved to Georgia. And one of her ex-husbands from before my dad was also dead. And when I went up to her room, I saw Jack, my dad, next to Paul, her other ex-husband, in 2 urns, labeled the same.
No way.
Way. She might have killed... The next day we came over there, all his stuff was sold. All the tools that I could have used when I was a contractor, sold. Everything sold.
Shut the fuck
The house
up.
we built together, sold.
Are you serious?
Right out. And he wrote in the will, like, when Micah dies, Jordan and Jamie get this house. And then she just sold it before, obviously, she died.
What year was this? Have you ever had this investigated?
No. Oh, yeah, because they said, Jordan, do you want to get an autopsy on your father? And I said no. So it's my fault.
Why would you say no? How did he die?
Because when your dad dies, the last thing you want is to imagine him being sliced open.
Wait, why'd they ask you and not anyone else?
My sister, too, but we were both just, like, all too shook, you know? So we were like, no, don't cut him open. We know he was unhealthy, smoked 2 packs a day. But he died in his sleep.
Really?
Yep.
And you don't know how?
I mean, he had a heart attack when he was 43. But he did. He also laid an entire like foundation that day. So we just thought it was just, you know, like a heart attack in his sleep. Or
If you're out there in the Finger Lakes area, you can retrace the steps of my murderous stepmother.
Yeah. I ran into her on mushrooms. It was fucked
What
up.
happened?
I asked her for money when I went to grad school because she got like $400,000 for selling the house me and my dad built together. And I was like, if I could just have like $1,000, it would really help me go to grad school. And she said no.
Oh, Jordan, that's brutal.
I know. Crazy. My buddy went to the place where she sold all the tools and bought some of them back and gave them to me. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Well, I'm not too sentimental about stuff. I don't really like stuff that much, so it's almost...
Yeah, either do I.
Yeah.
Hold on. You and your dad built a home together?
Mm-hmm.
How long did that take?
4 years.
Oh, my God. Just you and him?
Yeah, he would work on it, and then I would come home for summers and keep
That's
working on it.
So touching.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Incredible.
It's a great house. Giant circle windows.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's awesome.
When was
all these
this?
secrets in it that we put in.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, things that we hid in the walls.
No.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, Jordan, that's so nice.
I know, but it's not ours anymore. And he left us the barn, so now we just have this dilapidated piece of shit barn that we have these horrible Section 8 tenants in. Oh, but I went over the pandemic and remodeled some of that so that we could have more rich people in there. But we're going to sell it. Get a lake house. Be done with Catfish Farm.
It's called Catfish Farm? Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that guy would go fishing there?
Yes.
It's a lamp.
No, there's no fish there. There's nothing there. That's why it's so creepy.
There's no catfish?
There's no catfish. There's no animals. Oh. We had horses for a bit, but
so wait, you think that she killed him to get the money, and you guys never investigated? You were just like, hey, shit happens this way.
We only thought about it. When he died, we were like, oh, we'll probably get some of the money from the house. We'll probably get the house. We didn't realize. And then when everything was sold immediately, the autopsy was denied. It was all said and done. And we were both just like, wait a minute. Did she kill him? When I saw the urns next to each other, that's when I was like, oh, shit. My sister tried to release them into the lake and they just kept sinking.
The whole jug?
Into these little boats. She put a bunch of ashes in these little boats and tried to set them off.
Fucking Viking funeral?
Yeah, she was trying to do a mini Viking thing because he like wanted a Viking funeral.
Uh-huh.
And they kept sinking and she was crying. I was laughing. It was so funny. The ashes were just dropping immediately to the bottom of the lake. Like they were not going. And it was so funny. It was chaos. We were trying to light them on fire, but they were wet, obviously, so they wouldn't light on fire. And she was freaking out. It was so funny. She got these like expensive little crafty canoes. Ugh, just a wreck.
Your family
Just classic me and Jamie. Jamie just being type A personality and just being like, set them on fire! Like he would have. And I was like, dude, they are sinking immediately. They literally have rocks in them of Dad's bones. And I was like hysterically laughing. She was like, stop laughing! Stop! And I got out and my body was entirely covered with a thin layer of ash. I was like smoking a cigarette in the lake, trying to light these things. It was so. It was bad.
Your family needs to be studied.
Yeah, yeah. We're some trash. We're white trash.
Woo! Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, all of his weed. He had pounds and pounds of weed that they gave to this guy named Gideon. I was pissed. I was so pissed. I was like, yo, where's the pounds of weed he had in his desk? And she was like, I gave it to Gideon. And I saw Gideon at the funeral and I was like, fuck you. And he was like, I found so much Viagra. I had to, before the funeral, take these restraints he had around his bed for sex restraints off.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was crazy. So much shit in his house. I was just stuffing Viagra into my bra before guests showed up. I wasn't hiding any of the weed. I was just hiding I don't know why. I was like, I don't want anybody to think my dad's dick doesn't get hard. I think he'd be happy about it. I also had this like pig roast at his funeral. And this farmer who was like obsessed with me had this farm of pigs. He was this creep, and I was like, I didn't like tell him I'd fuck him if he gave me a free pig, but I kind of like was like, my dad just died, and we'd love to have a pig, and he brought this pig, and he like took his shirt off the whole time at this funeral, and was just this like glossy.
A man showed up to your dad's funeral shirtless with a pig? This is your life?
But the whole time this pig was on fire, which was so weird.
It was a catfish farm because you guys were tricked into thinking it was normal. And you got catfish.
And the farmer was trying to fuck me the whole time. And I was like, dude, my dad is dead. Please chill out. And he stayed till the end of the funeral until one of my buddies had to be like, she's not going to fuck you. You have to leave.
I brought the pig for nothing.
But also, you don't want a pig on fire when you're like mourning a dead body. It just smelled like burning flesh. And we had way too much. We had all this pork, but nobody wants. I didn't have any sides. So it was just endless amounts of pork. And this huge dead pig, and you don't realize how disturbing just like a giant dead pig is if you're at a funeral and you feel like you're mourning the pig, but then you're also eating it. I don't even think I brought sauce. I didn't have like salt or anything. Why did he take his shirt off? Why did he?
Why are you caring about sauce?
I didn't bring any sauce. So you're just eating smoked pork with nothing on it. What? At a pig's funeral. It was a pig's funeral. It was so crazy. Oh my God. And there was this one guy, Ziffy. He was this old guy, and he was my dad's weed dealer, and he had a boner the whole time. He kept hugging me and my sister. And at the end of the night, we were like, "Did you feel?" And she was like, "Ziffy's hard cock." And I was like, "I don't know why he had his shirt off. I can't believe it." All the women were looking at the farmer. He was so hot.
Where was
Oh my God. The pig was on the farm. The pig was on the farm. You don't realize how crazy it is to just have a full pig on fire. It's really grim. It's like a grim thing to watch. I just thought it would be nice. I don't think anybody ate it. so hillbilly. One of my cousins, like at my dad's wedding, had like tried and hooked up with my sister, and she was still mad about it. And he was there, and there was all this weird tension. It was so freaky. The whole thing was so. And I had just started comedy, so I was like wearing this like blazer and kept telling jokes.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I was telling jokes the whole time. I was telling jokes the whole time.
At the funeral?
Oh. The whole time, people thought I was nuts. People thought I was nuts. Oh, God. Oh.
Why'd you wear a blazer?
Oh, I don't know. I'd been wearing it on stage a lot. I don't know why I was wearing it. I looked like a real estate agent. I used to wear it all the time. Oh, my God. And somebody gave me this letter that my dad wrote to his gay brother that was like, hey, I know you're gay. You don't have to keep it a secret anymore. And then at the end, my dad writes, but he goes, oh, by the way, sorry if you're not gay. And somebody gave me that at the funeral, and I had it in my pocket, and I would always do stand up and pull it out and almost read it on stage. Sorry if you're not gay, but you gotta lay off the seersuckers, dude. You gotta chill out on the salmon pink shirts. Could you imagine?
The only one in your family with hygiene.
Yeah. It was such a heartfelt letter. Just, I love you so much. You don't have to keep it a secret. And at the end, just like, oh, just disregard if you're not gay. I'm sorry. Anyway, how was your dad's funeral? Mine was pretty run of the mill.
Oh my God.
Just try not to think about it.
So much.
It was just smoke in people's eyes.
Pig with no sauce.
There was so much smoke in our eyes, and it smelled like roasting flesh. You really don't think about that. Oh, it was such a horrible idea. I didn't have any coleslaw or anything. just who could eat so much just pork? That guy hung around until it was dark too. Oh, we really had to force him off the farm. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I guess I am a hick, huh? I don't really think about it, but then I think about it, and I guess I'm a bit of a hillbilly. My cousin's trying to fuck my sister. Oh, God.
The rest of the town, like,
oh, my God.
where they're like, it's Friday, gotta get on down to the Big Rose funeral young girl party.
It's Lansing. It's like the most hick part of upstate New York. It's brutal.
Oh my God. Were these the people that would wear like camo to weddings?
There were rugby dudes, old rugby dudes, and then there were old contractors who like had no teeth and were on a little bit of meth. And then there were like hippies who had like jean vests on and like big spliffs and are like, Jack would want us to all pass around this spliff. You know, it was like that. It was all that.
I love how you just had the realization that you were a hillbilly.
Yeah.
Fucking redneck.
Well, that dude that just broke up with me called me a hillbilly when I told him I fucked my stepbrother. And I was like, I'm not a hillbilly. My moms are gay. But I guess there's some crossover between granola and pig roast. There's a little bit of a Venn diagram there that I fall inside of. But, you know, I'm pretty hungry. Where are those sandwiches at? I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I thought the rugby guys would eat all this pork, but you don't eat that much at funerals. You don't go crazy. I thought it'd be like a party or something, but, oh, it was so funny. Man, Ziffy just had a boner the whole time. It was crazy. Why did he have that? He kept rubbing it against my dad's widow. It was crazy. She was shit-faced. She was so drunk. My mom, who my dad hated, gave this like 15-minute long speech about my dad. Oh.
What did it say?
Just roasted him. She just roasted his ass.
Like a pig at a funeral.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it was a good time. Yeah, it was really, really crazy at the end when my buddies had to go up to that pig farmer and be like, it's dark out. The family is all that remains. You have to leave. He was so surprised. I think he really did think it was a trade. I got a free pig out of it, though. Tell you what.
What kind of fucking upstate backwoods dowry is that?
I don't know. He was pretty hot, though. He was a hot farmer. Dumb as a rock, though. Tell you what. We hooked up at a music festival, and he flipped his truck when he was leaving.
The pig farmer?
Yeah.
You ended up hooking up with him.
No, this was before. We didn't fuck. We just hooked up. But then he flipped his truck when he was leaving the festival, and he calls me, and he goes, what are we going to do? And I was like, we? I was like, I don't even know you, dude. And I hung up. But he still gave me that pig. He flipped his whole truck over. It was crazy. What are we going to do? Lunacy. Oh, I feel crazy.
I feel like I'm in an acid trip.
Yeah, me too.
And you weren't telling facts about your life. You were just saying the first thing that popped into your head.
It's all true. It's so fucked up that all of that's true. Do you remember your dad's funeral?
Cops had to come.
Did they really?
Yeah.
What?
Fights.
There were fights?
We'll get into it another time.
Okay.
I'm not going to top your fucking pig roast fucking hick Viking funeral that just happened. Are you kidding me? What kind of a fool am I? I guess it was just a normal funeral. No shirtless guy with a pig tried to fuck me.
He really was trying to get it. It was crazy. It was so great following me around, and I'd be like, go take 10 to the pig, dude. Don't you gotta flip the pig?
Oh my God.
I don't think I ate one bite of that pig. What did we do with it after? Did we bury it? Did we make him leave it? He left it. I think he left the pig. I think he left in a huff.
All right, man. There's nothing else we can say.
Is that the pod?
I think so.